Hello, Jessica Frost-Ballas here with a video for honeybee stamps. Today I'm going back to an older technique and doing a little emboss resist with distress ink watercoloring, so let's get started. First I stamp a bunch of snowflakes from Let It Snow onto a panel of distress watercolor cardstock that is cut to 4 3/4 by 6 inches. I stamp the snowflakes with Versamark and heat emboss them with clear embossing powder. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that my camera wasn't on for this process, but I just stamped them randomly across the panel and filled in the gaps as much as possible. Once I was done stamping, I taped the panel to a hard surface to prep for watercoloring. Then I smushed tumbled glass, salvage patina, peacock feathers, salty ocean, blueprint sketch, and chipped sapphire distress ink onto my palette. I add 2 drops of Shimmery liquid shimmer watercolor to each color and a few drops of water. The liquid watercolor is very concentrated, so a little goes a long way. I start by wetting my cardstock thoroughly with water to help the paint move more easily. Once the cardstock is saturated with water, I use a big round brush to pick up tumbled glass distress ink and loosely paint it over a few of the snowflakes. I add each color from lightest to darkest until the entire panel is covered with ink. The embossed snowflakes resist the watercolors, allowing you to see the snowflake pattern I stamped earlier. When the panel is covered, I carefully wipe off any excess paint and dab a few of the really wet areas. Then I dry the panel with my heat gun. Once it's mostly dry, I add a second layer of color, slightly more saturated than the first. I concentrate the paint around the details of the snowflakes to make sure they'll stand out. Again, I dry the panel with my heat gun and then carefully peel up the tape and let it dry completely. Water often gets trapped under the cardstock, so removing it from the hardboard will allow it to dry faster. I place the panel in my splatter box and add splatters of peacock feathers and blueprint sketch distress ink. Now that the background has dried, you can really see the shimmer from the liquid watercolor. I also add some splatters of silver watercolor paint and a few spritzes of water. The distress ink reacts to the water, resulting in some interesting patterns and textures across the panel. Off camera, I let it dry again and then trim it down to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panel. I adhere the A2 panel to a card base. Next, I die cut a few snowflakes from the Lovely Layers large snowflake die set and stamp a sentiment from Polar Pals and die cut it with the coordinating dies. I adhere one of the glittery silver snowflakes at the bottom of my panel with a little glue and then add the sentiment with foam mounting tape. Off camera, I add a few aqua gems to finish my sparkly card. And that's it! You can find more information on the products I used in the YouTube description below. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Be sure to subscribe to the Honeybee Stamps channel for even more crafty inspiration. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye!